Good morning to those of you here in person, and a special good afternoon and good evening to our international students and families watching our virtual broadcast. We are sorry you are not all here in person, but we are happy to gather today, and I welcome you all, near and far, to Linsley's 207th graduation. To present the invocation this afternoon will be Mrs. Rebecca Martin.
What a beautiful day for a graduation. Please pray with me. Father God, we come here this morning to thank you for the young men and women of the graduating class of 2021. We celebrate all of the great things you have done for them. This is a special group of young people who have been faced with many unique trials and have come through ready to take on the world. We praise you for the many people that you have used to equip these future world leaders for the tasks ahead of them. We thank you for the parents and family members who have loved them through the good times and bad. We thank you for the teachers and coaches who have challenged them to grow and think. We thank you for the friends who have been there to pick them up when times were tough and celebrate with them when their goals were completed. Many times over the past year, life seemed very uncertain, and fear wanted to claim the day. We praise you that you are bigger than our fears, and that you are the one constant we can always hold fast to. You have faithfully brought us through the year to another graduation ceremony, and we ask that you bless this time as we celebrate the Linsly Graduating Class of 2021. In your holy name we do pray, amen.
You may be seated. We begin our program today by honoring and then welcoming the Salutatorian for the class of 2021 to address the audience and her classmates. Salutatorian, to the member of the senior class who has compiled the second highest cumulative average during her upper school career and attending Washington and Lee University in the fall, Lily George.
Board of Trustees, Mr. Zimmerman, faculty, family, friends, and my fellow graduates, good morning and welcome. Thank you for the honor and privilege of being in person speaking to you today. For those of you who were present for my 8th grade speech, I hope this can be my redemption, and for those of you who were not there, it was just dreadfully long. First, I would like to express my gratitude and appreciation towards the Linsley community. Growing up as the daughter of a Linsley alum and the little sister of 2 Linsley students, I, in essence, lived on the Linsley campus. Nevertheless, as a Linsley lifer, I have spent the last 8 years calling Linsley my home. Over those 8 impactful years, I have made meaningful relationships with both my peers and the faculty that have influenced the student and overall individual that I have become. This year especially has tested and magnified the importance of such relationships in life. Separated from one another physically, the Linsley community was fragile at the beginning of the year, yet creativity prevented complete fragmentation. Resilient and adaptable describe the class of 2021. Over the last 4 years, we have welcomed and parted with various teachers and peers, resulting in excitement, frustration, and confusion. Furthermore, this year we encountered many disappointments, including missing out on sporting events and losing our senior homecoming extravaganza and other similar traditions. Yet, as we sit together here today, let us not dwell on those minor losses. Rather, let us remember all that we have accomplished, celebrated, and enjoyed this year. We have won OVAC championships, screamed in both excitement and in fear while riding roller coasters at Kennywood, survived whitewater rafting, dominated powder puff football, and most importantly, played intense spike ball games. As we sat outside during the 90-minute lunch period, we all witnessed the strengthening of our community. Therefore, despite the impediments to normal life, the Linsley community prevailed. We have lived through a lot and lost a lot. Nonetheless, we have learned a lot. Although the methods in which our education was delivered this year changed, we never stopped learning. This year, our teachers succeeded in continuing our education through creative means and providing us with a memorable senior year. Teachers and other members of the faculty, thank you for your support and dedication. Above all, this year, we learned and reflected a lot about ourselves. Frequently, we have asked, who am I? For many of us, this question is quite daunting. As teenagers, we do not know all of the answers. For many of us, we have been told who we are and what we should do. However, ahead of us lies uncertainty. We will encounter success and approval, but also failure and rejection. Educator and advisor Booker T. Washington once said, "Success is measured not by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacles which he has overcome." End quote. In life, there are small obstacles and big obstacles. Small obstacles may seem comical, while big obstacles may seem life-altering. Obstacles are the route to learning, and you have the power to choose which ones you stress over. My late grandfather always reminded my brother, sister, and I of the value of education and life success. No matter the obstacle, he always stressed the continuation of one's education as being most important. This year, especially, such continuation has been challenged. However, our persistence and determination enabled us to overcome the obstacles of an abnormal year. Class of 2021, look around and think about the obstacles you have overcome thus far. Remember how you got here, sitting in front of me today. Please take the time to thank those who helped you overcome your obstacles, to thank those who helped you throughout your Linsley careers, and to thank your parents and families for their invaluable sacrifices in order for you to acquire a Linsley education. Collectively, I can say that we are ready to embark on the journeys that lie ahead of us. Although our paths are taking us in varying directions, Linsley has equipped us with the ability to overcome any obstacle. As we sit together as a class, one last time, take the time to remember that Linsley will always be a place that we can call home. Congratulations, the class of 2021. I want to wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. Hopefully, I did not make anyone fall asleep this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. President Biden continues the tradition of the President's Education Awards program, which is intended to recognize students who have attained a high level of academic achievement while pursuing a solid core of academic courses. They are, in fact, members of Linsley's National Honor Society. Please stand, face the audience, and remain standing when your name is read to be recognized. Please hold your applause until all have been recognized. Charlie Allison. Annabelle Blosser. Emily Coram. Madison Dowdy. Mariah Dowdy. Dylan Dunlevy. Heidi Duran. Stephen Felton. Liza Fletcher. Cameron Frame. Sishen Fu. Lily George. Isabella Giovengo. Sydney Glessner. Samuel Gorentz. Cole Grimm. Molly Heron. Kai Chen Jin. Justin Djokovic. Hunter Kelly. Spencer Knight. Shishen Liao. Shane McCready. Aidan McPhail. Abalaji Oki. Everett Poole. Karina Recrosio. Taylor Reed. Jacob Richards. Emma Robinson. Matthew Rodenberg, Jalen Smirzinski, Brinley Steen, Zachary Taylor, Armand Toyserkani, Chenbois Jean, Yingjia Jean, Yining Zhu. Congratulations. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce Mrs. Penny Cunningham, Director of College Counseling.
The following graduates have been awarded scholarships to the college or university where they will matriculate this fall. They have also received outside scholarships from various community organizations, companies, and foundations, and special recognition for performance on AP exams. These graduates will matriculate into 42 different schools in 12 different states and 3 different countries. Please stand and face the audience when your name is called and remain standing until the next name is read. Audience members, please hold your applause until all scholarship recipients have been honored. Awarded the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Premier Aiken. Receiving the Clarion University Tippin Scholarship and Volleyball Scholarship, the Alpha Gamma Phi Scholarship, the David Smith Housing Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Charlie Allison. Awarded the West Virginia University Go First Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Racy Anderson. Receiving the Albert A. Chris Scholarship and attending Slippery Rock University is Anthony Andy. Receiving the Athens, Ohio School of Media Arts and Scripps College Communication Scholarship and the Ohio Promise and Trustee Award and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship attending Ohio University is Marco Apri. Also receiving the Albert A. Chris Scholarship and attending Florida Atlantic University is Charles Austin. Awarded the University of Northwestern Ohio Golf Scholarship is Gino Bisbacci. Awarded the West Liberty University Arts and Communication Scholarship and Merit Scholarship and West Liberty University Teach Grant is Vivian Bloomfield. Named an AP Scholar with Distinction, a Presidential Scholar nominee, and receiving the University of Findlay Trustee Scholarship, the 2021 Louise Freeland Scholarship, the Larson Trust Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Annabelle Blosser. Awarded the West Virginia University Go First Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Emma Bernaire. Receiving the Veteran of Foreign Wars Scholarship, the Ohio Valley African American Association Award, the Albert A. Chris Scholarship, and attending Bethany College is Mecca Collins. Awarded the Dickinson College International Student Grant and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Frederico Calaca Bianchi. Receiving the West Virginia University Go First Scholarship is Nevaeh Cook. Awarded the West Virginia University Mountaineer Connection Scholarship, the West Virginia University Go First Scholarship, the West Virginia Promise Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Emily Coram. Receiving the Robert Morris University Colonial Club Golf Scholarship is Ryan Dembazak. Awarded the Albert A. Chris Scholarship and attending Ohio State University is Madison Dowdy. Receiving the Albert A. Chris Scholarship and attending Ohio State University is Mariah Dowdy. Awarded the Robert Morris University Advantage Scholarship, the Liberty and Honor College Scholarships and Golf Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Dylan Dunlevy. Receiving the Dickinson 1783 Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Heidi Duran. Awarded the Marietta College Long Blue Line Scholarship and the Marietta College Theater Department Scholarship is Holden Farnsworth. Receiving the Duquesne University Academic Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Stephen Felton. Awarded the West Virginia University Scholarship of Distinction, the West Virginia University College of Economics and Business Dean Scholarship, the West Virginia Promise Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Liza Fletcher. Receiving the Chatham Academic Scholarship and the Chatham Leadership Scholarship is Cameron Frame. Named an AP Scholar with Distinction and a National AP Scholar is Frank Fu. Receiving the Larson Trust Scholarship, the Albert A. Chris Scholarship, and attending Washington and Lee University is Lily George. Awarded the West Virginia University Scholarship of Distinction, the Scott Melko Foundation Scholarship, the West Virginia Promise Scholarship, the Rose Mary Wizzy Brunetti Memorial Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Isabel Giovinco. Receiving the West Virginia University Scholarship of Distinction, the West Virginia University Go First Scholarship, the Scott Melko Foundation Scholarship, the Helen Beery Memorial Scholarship, the Michael and Julia Oliverio Memorial Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Lourdes Giovinco. Awarded the High Point Presidential Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Sidney Glessner. Receiving the Ohio State University Stadium Scholarship, the Ohio State University Macmillan Scholarship Fund for Belmont County, the Polish American Patriot Club Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Sam Gorentz. Awarded the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Merit Scholarship, the South Central Power Leadership Scholarship, the Bordis and Bordis Anti-Bullying Fighting for Justice Award, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Cole Grimm. Receiving the Dickinson Provost Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Molly Herron. Awarded the Belmont College OVAC Scholarship, a Wheeling University Baseball Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Kobe Hill. Receiving the High Point Merit Scholarship and Summit Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Luke Hillebrand. Named an AP Scholar with Distinction and a finalist in the National Merit Scholarship Competition and awarded the Albert A. Chris Scholarship and attending the University of California, Los Angeles is James Ginn. Receiving the Ohio State University Land Grant Opportunity Scholarship is Justin Djokovic. Receiving the Washington and Jefferson Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Tracy Kariuki. Awarded the Otterbein Provost Scholarship and Klein Memorial Scholarship and the Jean Fox Huff Memorial OVAC Scholarship is Hunter Kelly. Named an AP Scholar and attending New York University is Mason Lee. Receiving the Alderson Broaddus University Merit and Athletic Scholarships and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is João Lima de Oliveira. Named an AP Scholar with Distinction and attending New York University is Max Liu. Receiving the Ohio State University President's and Buckeye Affordability Grants and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Shane McCready. Receiving the University of Pittsburgh Panther Pride Award and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Blake McNeely. Receiving the Arizona State University New American University President's Award and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Aiden McPhail. Awarded the University of Miami Scholarship, the Going Mary Scholarship, and the Providian Medical Scholarship is BJ Oki. Receiving the Geneva Pro Christo Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Favor Oladapo. Receiving the Bethany College Merit and Trustee Award, the Good Neighbor Award, and and Kirkpatrick Award, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Everett Poole. Awarded the Niagara University Dean Scholarship for Nursing and Softball Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Karina Recrozio. Receiving the High Point University Merit Scholarship, the High Point Summit Award, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Phil Redford. Awarded the Michael A. Perry Scholarship, the West Virginia Promise Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Taylor Reed. Receiving the Bridgeport Christian Friendship Council Scholarship, the Martins Ferry Chamber of Commerce Award, the Sons of Italy Bel Air Lodge Scholarship, a CVS Health Foundation Scholarship, the John B. and Elizabeth Lancione Memorial Scholarship, the Albert A. Chris Scholarship, and attending Ohio State University is Jacob Richards. Awarded the Ohio State University Morrill Scholarship, the Oric Harrington and Sutcliffe GOC Scholarship, the Bo Robinson Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Emma Robinson. Receiving the Bethany Memorial Scholarship and attending the College of William & Mary is Matthew Rodenberg. Awarded the West Virginia Scholarship of Distinction from Statler College of Engineering and the West Virginia Promise Scholarship is Hannah Rokiski. Receiving the Ohio State University Land Grant Opportunity Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Jalen Smerzinski. Awarded the Cabot Oil and Gas President Scholarship, the Come Live the Experience Scholarship, and attending Baldwin Wallace University is Sophia Stark. Receiving the Marietta College Compass Scholarship and Legacy Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Jacob Stern. Awarded the West Liberty University Foundation Scholarship, the West Virginia Promise Scholarship, and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Carly Stewart. Receiving the Otterbein President Scholarship and the Albert A. Chris Scholarship is Zachary Taylor. Awarded the Waynesburg University State Scholarship and University Scholarship, and the Ohio Valley African American Association Scholarship is Max Washington. Receiving the Chatham Academic Merit Scholarship is Sarah Worthington. Named an AP Scholar and attending the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign is Jay Zhang. Named an AP Scholar with Honor and attending the University of Virginia is Julie Zhu. Congratulations to all of the students on their scholarship awards.
Thank you, Mrs. Cunningham. The following should come forward to receive awards when their name is called. The Linsley Social Studies Award. This award is given to that member of the senior class who has achieved an outstanding perception of social studies and has attained the highest cumulative average in that discipline for her 4-year upper school career at Linsley. Receiving the Linsley Social Studies Award is Lily George. The Linsley Science Award, given to that member of the senior class who has attained the highest cumulative average in that discipline during her 4-year upper school career at Linsley. Receiving the Linsley Science Award is Annabelle Blosser. The Gilliland Award. The Gilliland Award was established in memory of Professor Brady Gilliland, who attended Linsley from 1932 until his graduation in 1940. The award recognizes a graduating senior who studied Latin and succeeded in her study. Receiving the Gilliland Award is Molly Heron. The John Anwar Spanish Award. This award is given in memory of Dr. and Mrs. Anwar's eldest son. This award recognizes the graduating senior who, through consistent dedication and hard work, has distinguished himself in the study of Spanish. Receiving the John Anwar Spanish Award is Matthew Rodenberg. The Max W. Laborde Award. To those senior English students who, in the opinion of the English department, best met the standards set forth in this quote by Thomas Huxley. Perhaps the most valuable result of all education is the ability to make yourself do the things you have to do when it ought to be done, whether you like it or not. This award is given to the students who daily met the challenges and demands of English and met them well. Max W. Laborde Award recipients are Lily George and James Ginn. The Linsley Mathematics Award, given to that member of the senior class who, determined by the mathematics department, has attained the highest cumulative average in that discipline during his 4-year upper school career at Linsley. And the Robert W. Schramm Physics Award, given in memory of Henry Brown, former Linsley Military Institute mathematics chair. The Robert W. Schramm Physics Award is given to that member of the senior class who has attained the highest cumulative average in that discipline during his 4-year upper school career at Linsley. Receiving the Linsley Mathematics Award and the Robert W. Schramm Physics Award is James Ginn. I now present to you Mr. Justin Zimmerman, Linsley's head of school, who will present additional awards.
The Buncher Award. To those resident students who, in the opinion of the dormitory masters, resident faculty, and head of school, exemplify that which is looked for in every boarding student. This year we have 3 recipients, B.J. Oki, Michael Flynn, and Joe Lima. Please come forward. The Theodore Scott Owens Award. To those members of the senior class who, in the opinion of the faculty and head of school, exhibit the qualities of determination, seriousness, and persistence respected by all. This award is given in memory of Theodore Scott Owens, a former Linsley student. Samuel Gorentz and Lily George. Please come forward. The Gunther Award. To those members of the senior class who, in the opinion of the faculty and head of school, exhibit outstanding leadership, citizenship, and character. Given in memory of David Gunther, a former Linsley student, Cole Grimm, and Sydney Glessner. The Hofreiter Award. To that member of the senior class who has been exemplary in his or her service to the school and community. In the tradition of Dr. Donald H. Hofreiter, Linsley Cadet Major, community leader, and longtime chairman of Linsley's Board of Trustees. The award is presented to Sydney Glessner. The Linsley Headmaster Award. To that member of the senior class who, in the opinion of the faculty and head of school, through her display of leadership, academic excellence, and willingness to serve, acted as a model for all Linsley students. The Linsley Headmaster Award goes to Molly Heron. The Linsly Valedictorian Award, given to that senior who has compiled the highest cumulative average during his upper school career and attending the University of California, Los Angeles in the fall, Kaken James Jen.
Dear Board of Trustees, Headmaster Zimmerman, faculty, family, and fellow graduates, it is a great honor for me to speak to all of you today. Although, unfortunately, I cannot be here with you in person, I believe the bond that we have built and strengthened over the past 4 years is bringing us closer together to an extent that even time and space cannot break us apart. Still, time flies. As if in the blink of an eye, we have suddenly grown from the innocent teenagers years ago into the matured individuals now. We have experienced a lot all together here at Linsley. Squeezing those memories into one single speech will only make some of them lose their significance. And some of us will certainly fall asleep, just like what we did during some classes. Yet, some of the most precious moments cannot slip away unmentioned. Remember the tug of war on those house days back then. And we hope that our team could have more football players. Remember we cheered together for our team in the field house, wishing to defeat our longtime rivals. Remember, we went to log together, and we played ping pong. Enjoyed the high ropes, the low ropes, the night walks, and the bonfires. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. We did write letters to ourselves back then. And if everything goes well, they should be visiting us soon. Surely, these are only tiny portions of the great moments that we spent together here at Linsley in the past 4 years. But aside from these memories, Linsley has taught us to be not only great students, but also decent and respectful individuals. The 6 character traits on the HPL list are not merely letters and words that we need to write down to get a good grade for world history anymore. Rather, thanks to the speeches and carings given by Mr. Zimmerman, Mr. Plumby, Mr. Wallace, and many other faculty members, we have truly learned to behave in ways that embody those qualities. Indeed, this year has been tough for many of us. As political tension increases around the world, we're sad to see that hatred, prejudice, and hostility are all spreading with an astonishing speed. As our life quality improves, so does our pace of living. We seem to be less patient and more prone to methods that directly display an impressive amount of power associated with those negative emotions. Yet, amid all the chaos, the world now is lacking prominent leaders who are courageous enough to be the models in fighting against the anger-oriented part of our world and in honoring civil discourse to solve problems. Thankfully, Linsley has prepared us to be responsible leaders. We have learned to be leaders who manifest respect, kindness, and courage. And we are ready to contribute to the process of diminishing hostility and encourage civilized conversations in the world. Although we wish we could learn more at Linsley, sadly, as one Chinese saying goes, all good things come to an end. And here we are, at the end of our high school years. It is almost time to say goodbye to our beloved school and to depart. Maybe joy will fill the air. Maybe tears will flood the ground. However, there is still a long road ahead of us. An end means a new beginning. No matter how unwilling we are to leave this place, we shall be prepared and encouraged to walk forward. A bright future is awaiting all of us. Mr. Plumby used to say, always leave the place better than the time you found it. I hope not only me, but all of us have achieved this goal and made Linsley a better place. There is one final thing that I want to say before we start to embark on a new journey. That is, thank you, and thank you all for your help, your support, and your companionship in the past few years. You have left us with numerous pieces of unforgettable memories. You have brought us plenty of valuable friendships. And you have taught us so much about how to become better people. Thank you, the Linsley community. We will always be a big family. Most of you might know that a traditional way to thank others in my home country is bowing. The greater the degree of bending, the more thanks that are being expressed. Now, if you could, please allow me to express my deepest gratitude here. Thanks again, everyone.
I am now pleased to introduce the senior class officers to present the senior class gift to the school. Class President Lily George, Vice President Sam Gorence, and Secretary Stephen Felton.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Due to the COVID pandemic and limited opportunity, we were unable to raise an exorbitant amount of funds. Nonetheless, we raised approximately $1,400, which will be allocated towards the installation of a drinking water fountain in the Williams Visual Arts Center. We would like to give a special thanks to Mr. Kidash, our class advisor, for his hard work and assistance through the years. Thank you.
Thank you to the senior class for your gift. It is now my pleasure to begin awarding diplomas. Dr. Holloway, members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Zimmerman, faculty of Linsley, family and friends, I present to you the graduating class of 2021. Pamir Akin. Charlie Jean Allison. Razy Christina Anderson. Frank Anthony Andy. Marco Vincent Apri. Charles Randall Austin. Jenna Lee Barrick. Giovanni Valentino Bisbacci. Vivian Grace Bloomfield. Annabelle Elizabeth Blosser. Emma Elizabeth Bernaire. Xinglei Chen. Mecca Renee Collins. Federico Calaca Bianchi. Nevaeh Raylan Cook. Emily Sue Coram. Ryan Gary Dembazak. Madison Marie Dowdy. Mariah Rose Dowdy. Dylan Angelo Dunlevy. Heidi Duran. Holden Robert Carlisle Farnsworth. Stephen Hughes Felton. Liza Ann Fletcher. Michael Richard Flynn IV. Cameron Ellis Frame. Sishen Fu. Lily Catherine George. Isabella Rose Giavengo. Lourdes Kiara Giovingo. Sydney K. Glessner. Samuel John Gorence. Cole Stevenson Grimm. Aiden Joseph Grubler. Molly Margaret Heron. Dylan Joshua Hill. Kobe Ryan Hill. Lucas Andy Hillebrand. Nico Hallworth. Kai Chen Jin. Justin Robert Lee Djokovic. Tracy Lynn Njuri Karaoke. Hunter Douglas Kelly. Gunnar Dixon Kernick. Mincio Kim. Spencer Kelly Knight. He's got it. Hao Hua Li. Joao Lima de Oliveira. Shishen Liao. Daniela Mate Sanchez. Shane Vincent McCready. Blake Lewis McNeely. Aiden Joshua McPhail. Abalaji Michelle Oki. Ulabori Favor Oladapo. Everett James Poole. He Jung Chu. Karina Marie Recrosio. Philip Joseph Redford. Taylor Lynn Reed. Jacob Tyler Richards. Emma Marie Robinson. Matthew Nichols Rodenberg. Hannah Catherine Rokiski. Jalen Ann Smrzinski. Sophia Grace Stark. Brinley Nicole Steen. Jacob Glenn Stern. Carly Marie Stewart. Zachary Douglas Taylor. Armand Petit Toysarkani. Maxwell Isaiah Washington. Zoe Aaliyah Wooding. Sarah Marie Mansfield Worthington. Chengbois Jean. Yongjia Jean. Shendong Zhao. Yining Zhu. Congratulations, class of 2021. You may now turn your tassels. Dr. John Holloway, Chairman of the Linsley Board of Trustees, will now address the class of 2021.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I welcome you to the 207th commencement exercises of the Linsley School. You know, this is not the prettiest day, it's not bad, but it's a beautiful scene to look out at all of you and see your faces without masks. This past year truly has been like no other in the 207 years of Linsley's existence. Due to the ever-changing pattern of the pandemic and its effects locally, statewide, nationally, and even within Linsley community, you have faced and had to adapt to last-minute changes in class schedules, class teaching venues, school activities, and sports. To get through a year like this, you have to demonstrate a great deal of resiliency, as Lily pointed out. As have your parents, your faculty, your administrative team, essentially everybody who is here today. Throughout this year, I had multiple meetings with Mr. Zimmerman, who filled me in on events affecting the school and on decisions he made dealing with seen and unforeseen circumstances driven by the pandemic. To be the head of a school with its different constituencies among day students, boarding students, international students attending virtually in far different time zones, parents, and faculty created unique challenges. Among these different constituencies are a wide spectrum of opinions on COVID, from those who saw it as a little threat to those who are terrified of it. Clearly, under these circumstances, universal agreement on how to deal with COVID was not going to be achieved. Over the past year, he and I participated in webinars sponsored by ISACS, the Independent Schools Association of the Central States, which accredits the accrediting body for Linsley. Head and board chairs from multiple states who are from schools in multiple states who are part of ISACS participating in these webinars, where the chief focus was addressing pandemic-related issues. While I found it useful to hear what others were doing, it was clear everyone was struggling. No one had this figured out. There are no easy answers to address all the problems created by COVID. Having been part of these discussions, it gave me a greater appreciation not only for the difficult decisions that Mr. Zimmerman was forced to make this past year, but also for his leadership skills under these extraordinary circumstances, for which he deserves a great deal of credit. The trustees on their part made it clear to Mr. Zimmerman that in spite of the significant financial challenges created by the pandemic for the school, that all resources be made available so that students receive the best education possible under these circumstances, and that the most up-to-date and thorough measures be provided for everyone's safety. Today, I want to share with you my perspective of the pandemic as a physician in an active practice of medicine, as well as an active participant in the area of public health. I really hope you appreciate that we're gathered here today without masks for one reason, and that is the development of an effective and safe vaccination against COVID. From my standpoint, this is one of the most important and beneficial advances in healthcare in our recent history, and made possible by new technologies and important cooperative effort between the government and the pharmaceutical and biomedical industries. If it were not for the development of the vaccine, at best, we might be gathered here still wearing masks. At worst, this might have been a virtual graduation. I can spew out a lot of statistics that demonstrate the effectiveness of the vaccine. The one I find most impressive is the daily incidence of new cases of COVID. On January 8 of this year, there are 303,000 new cases of COVID infections in the U.S. On May 23, 1 week ago, there are less than 15,000. That's a decrease of 95% of new cases in the United States in the last 4.5 months. This is a phenomenal achievement and made possible by the fairly widespread use of the vaccine. Whether or not you and those around you have been vaccinated, I hope you appreciate how you are benefiting from it, not just today, but how you will this summer by being able to do more normal activities, and hopefully this fall that you'll have a fairly normal experience as you enter college. But a word of caution, the pandemic is far from over. While things are much better here in the U.S., there are other parts of the world where vaccination availability is extremely limited, leading to widespread COVID outbreaks. While this is occurring predominantly in third world countries, is now spreading widely in countries with advanced economies such as Japan and Taiwan. As COVID rapidly spreads, this allows the virus to mutate. These COVID variants have demonstrated an ability to be more contagious, cause more severe disease, evade the ability to be detected by diagnostic tests, become less responsive to therapeutic agents, and most worrisome, evade natural and vaccine-created immunity. It's almost frightening how a COVID mutation, for example, can begin in an obscure village in India and quickly spread to bigger cities in that country and then beyond its borders. Some of these variants have reached the United States and even West Virginia. So far, none of these variants have led to an increased rate of infection in the US. There are other parts of the world where they're very worrisome variants. As long as there are billions of COVID viruses affecting millions of people, mutations will continue to develop, potentially leading to more virulent strains of virus, resulting in more severe infections. Unvaccinated individuals, especially those who are younger, may not get very sick themselves from a variant, but can become super spreaders to those around them. This is of special concern for older individuals, where the vaccine may be less protective against a more virulent strain, and then likely to get very sick from it. Later this year, as we move back indoors, if a new variant spreads quickly and infections rise, we could be where we were last fall, with schools and businesses shutting down, and all of you not in a classroom, but back online. This would be a huge tragedy which need not happen. Increasing the number of vaccinated individuals would significantly decrease the likelihood of a new wave of infections. If there is a recurrence of the pandemic due to some variant, the only way to control it will be with the development of a new vaccine. I understand that for some of you, there's little fear of the virus and a greater fear of the vaccine. That is understandable for those individuals who acquired it and recovered from it quickly. In my own medical practice, I've witnessed the brutality of COVID, mostly among older individuals where some have suffered devastating effects, both short-term and long-term. I've shared in the grief of family members who have lost loved ones due to COVID. The safety profile of the vaccine after 167 million individuals in the US have received at least one vaccination is remarkably good. Sure, some people feel pretty crummy for a day or two after the vaccination, but the incidence of severe adverse events is exceedingly rare and pales in comparison to the number of individuals who have been hospitalized due to COVID, as well as the number of individuals who have died from it, which is now just under 600,000 in the US. As I like to remind people, fear the virus, not the vaccine. Now, I want to interject that the statistics I provide you from the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, in a really remarkable coincidence this morning, I just heard that there is going to be a new blog on the CDC website on vaccines. It's going to be written by a Linsly grad. His name is Matthew Pluzinski, and those faculty members who have been around for a while, I'm sure remember Matthew. He's a class of 2004. He's a valedictorian. He has had an amazing career traveling the world for the CDC, and he's just another success story of a Linsly grad. So I'm calling upon you not only to appreciate the safety and effectiveness of the COVID vaccine, not only to get vaccinated if you've not already, but to become COVID vaccine advocates for your friends, your family, and others around you. Perhaps you're aware the goal of public health to avoid another pandemic is for the entire U.S. to achieve herd immunity against COVID, where such a large portion of our population becomes vaccinated, then only sporadic cases will occur. This may not be achievable. I have heard of another approach, something called community immunity. I kind of like the term, as it's something understandable, it's achievable. We're a community of any size to which any of us belong, whether it be a school like Linsley, a college, or the community in which we live, where everyone works together to provide support, understanding, education, and patience so that community becomes highly vaccinated, making it highly safe to allow reasonable normalcy to the benefit of all who live in this community. It's my hope that at least some of you become advocates for the COVID vaccine and work towards community immunity wherever you may be. It's something you can be part of and something for which you can make a significant difference for those around you. Because of the pandemic, your senior year was not quite the one that you would have liked, as was the case for high school seniors throughout the entire country. I will say with confidence that the quality of online teaching that you received from Linsley was as good as it was anywhere. While students from other schools will struggle as they enter college this fall, you will not. In spite of the limitations of this past year, I have no doubt you will enjoy your class reunions in the future, and I encourage you to return to Linsley for them. This is my 50th reunion for my school in Rhode Island, although I will not be able to get together with my classmates until next year to celebrate it. But as I look back at my previous reunions, my classmates and I never really talked much about our senior year. We spent a lot of time catching up with each other, talking about our careers, our lives, our families, and simply enjoy being together again. I predict that all of you who return will have the same experience. And I really hope when you come back in 5 years, you will see dramatic changes in our campus. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I offer your congratulations for your hard work, your achievements, and your resiliency. I wish you great happiness, great health, and great success. And as you leave Linsley and go off in different directions, I really hope that you actively support community immunity.
I am now pleased to introduce Mr. Justin Zimmerman, Linsley's head of school, who will now address the graduates.
Thank you, Ms. Leone. To the class of 2021, congratulations. And congratulations to parents, grandparents, extended family members, faculty, staff, friends, and others who have helped our graduates. You have every reason to be proud. Special thanks to Lily George, James Jin, and Dr. Holloway, and to West Liberty University for helping us to connect to some of our alums, now alums, all around the world. Decades from now, I predict when you reminisce with family and friends about your days at Linsley, you'll talk about how your lives were affected by the pandemic, how abnormal became almost normal. Who could have imagined, Anthony, 15 months ago, that our lives could change so much and so quickly? To your credit, you adapted. You looked for ways to help others. You were resilient and resourceful, and you have reasons to be proud of what you accomplished under such difficult conditions. You did it. We did it. Congratulations. This school year, Linsley adopted as our theme the insightful words of Dr. Albert Einstein. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. For those that may not be aware, those comments from Dr. Einstein were selected by Linsley students soon after or after the pandemic began. I believe they chose a statement like this that focused on the need to adapt to the present, yet also reflect a positive outlook for the future. Knowing we all needed to have a positive attitude, we needed to have hope. During the winter, you and I and many of us struggled when we had to return to a virtual learning platform. But here we are. A degree of normalcy has arrived. All of us will face struggles sometimes in life. When those bumps or unexpected turns come your way, remember how hope pulled you through. Hope will pull you through again. Now, we all know Dr. Einstein is a great theoretical physicist, the man who developed a theory of relativity, the theory of quantum mechanics, and many other brilliant ideas. What few people realize about Einstein is that he also had great insights about life and a marvelous sense of humor. It may surprise you to know that despite his genius, Einstein was a humble, self-effacing man. He said, "I have no particular talent. I'm merely curious." Curiosity and imagination were more important to him than intelligence. He said, "Logic will take you from A to B. Imagination will take you anywhere you want to go." Sounds like something Walt Disney might have said. Einstein also said success comes from curiosity, concentration, perseverance, and self-criticism. Sounds like something Mr. Plumby would say. These are all wonderful and practical insights, as valuable to today as when Einstein shared them decades ago. As I reflect upon these wise words from Einstein, I can't help but think about you and how they pertain to the class of 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, sitting in front of me is a group of young people who have diverse talents, vibrant personalities, a drive for success, but most importantly, the ability to be flexible and adapt to the unpredictable circumstances that life will inevitably throw at us again and again. You have not let this pandemic define you as a class. So who is the class of 2021? Here's what I'll remember. You are academic achievers. Your class has been accepted into 125 different colleges and universities. You will matriculate at 42, 12 different states, and 3 different countries. 7 members of the class of 2021 have already earned the distinction of AP Scholars by the College Board. One senior, our valedictorian, was named a finalist in the 2021 National Merit Scholarship Competition. Another senior, Annabelle Blosser, received the prestigious distinction of being named a Presidential Scholar nominee in the United States Presidential Scholars Program. You are athletes, OVAC champions, school record breakers, all-stars, and even players of the year. 16 of you have committed to continue your athletic careers at the collegiate level. You have played your best despite the worst of circumstances, including athletic season delays and overlaps, and even being quarantined during the season because of the pandemic. But most importantly, through it all, the class of 2021, you were there for one another as cheerleaders and supporters of each other. You are also artists, entrepreneurs, writers, volunteers, and community servants. Under the leadership of one member of the senior class, along with the support of senior staffers, you launched the online version of the school newspaper, the Linsley Line. This was very successful and will continue long after you graduate. Many seniors involved in Miss Leone's DTE class were instrumental in launching the ever-so-popular Linsley Breakfast Bar to offer our students special breakfast treats each morning. In addition, you partnered with local small businesses in our community and helped support them with your creativity and ingenuity during a difficult time in the economy. But your work in the community didn't end there. You've used your talents and your time to serve as volunteers in our community, whether it be helping a local nonprofit, volunteering to help younger children read, or volunteering at local nursing homes. The class of 2021 is a community-minded group ready to serve. Some of you are also lifers. 16 of you began as your Linsley careers in the 5th grade. You grew up before our eyes, and we're very proud of the young men and women you have become. Thank you for sticking with us. But most of all, class of 2021, you are and always will be Linsley cadets. You will soon leave the high school years behind and enter the bewildering world as adults. As you take the next major steps in your lives, let me offer 6 quick thoughts. 1, be courageous. 2, be humble. 3, be positive. 4, be there for the ones you love. 5, be adaptable. 6, be the hero in your life, not the victim. Einstein liked to use a simple analogy. He said, life is like a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. And once you stop learning, you start dying. All of us at Linsley hope your years here have been memorable ones. More importantly, we hope your lives have been enriched intellectually and personally by your presence here and by your interactions with others around you. In closing, know that each of you will forever be a part of the Linsley family and will always be welcome here at your Linsley home. My congratulations and sincere best wishes to each of you, the Linsley class of 2021. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. All major award winners should immediately return to the stage for a picture. Please stand for the presentation of the benediction from Mrs. Martin.
Please pray with me. Heavenly Father, as we conclude our time here this morning, we praise you for all the blessings that you have poured out on these graduates before us. Continue to watch over them and lead them as they begin their newest adventures. Give them strength to persevere, wisdom to guide their decisions, and hearts to love those who come into their lives. May we all remember the words that you gave to the author of Hebrews. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race that is marked out before us. In your holy name we pray, amen.